Welcome back to Rebuilding Astroworld. This is Swag, and on today's episode, we're going to be taking a look at pathfinding. So, one of the toughest things to do when making a realistic park is using the right amount of path and not getting your peeps lost. So, one thing that I'm going to do at this point in the park's development is remove all the peeps from the park and then remove their connections into this main plaza area in order to make it so most of the peeps don't get lost and get forced into other areas with the rides. Because something I really didn't expect when I was building this park was peeps getting lost so much, and I think I should have. I mean, I've built small single ride contest entries where peeps can't even get around a roller coaster. So the big thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the peeps. I'm going to remove the connections into some of these more detailed areas so that the peeps don't even have access to get into these areas. And then I'm going to basically build the pathways to the areas that I'm working on slightly so that we start to see realistically how peeps are going to move around the park and just not have to deal with the low park ratings. So like rides like this go-kart, they're open. People have been stuck in here for who knows how long, but nobody's coming to these extra rides because all of them are just getting stuck in here. So let's get to it, and we'll move forward after we go ahead and fix all that stuff up. After adding all of the rides and queues and all of that for most of the rides in the park, the next thing that's going to happen is I'm going to have to investigate around the park and see where people are stopping and going, wait, I need to go to the drink stall, like this guy right here, which is across the park. So I'll have areas where I need to add some food stalls, some bathrooms, some first aid, and that's just going to make the park a lot more livable for these peeps. And I think that's going to be the key to making this park more peepable during the build, because if you build all this detail early on and then you just shove peeps in there, they just get stuck and lost. They've got to have something to do in proximity to them, or they're just going to get lost going back and forth trying to get to that spot. So the next thing you'll see me doing is adding drink stalls, food stalls, restrooms, stuff like that to make the peeps happier with what's going on in the park overall. After adding all of those food station, drink station, bathroom, first aid stations around the park, it seems to have mediated the guests who all want to leave and go home. There's still quite a few, but if we locate them, they're all pretty much heading towards the exit. So that guy should exit towards the back, that guy's exiting towards the front. I'm hungry, I'm thirsty is still a major thing. Where are we finding these people? Okay, that guy's getting his food. Guess there's a kind of long stretch right here. Maybe if I make a connecting path right there. Seems like hunger and thirst are still an issue, so I'm going to add a little bit more here and there. And we will go from there. Okay, so I added a few more stalls here or there, and what you can really learn from building a large park is this is a game. Even if you play creatively, the game is going to make it tough for you to build the large parks without really emphasizing like structure, where peeps don't need to walk super far to get food. It's just like a real park where, you know, folks would probably be frustrated if they're like looking on their little maps going, oh my gosh, the drink stall is a quarter mile across the park and I have to walk by 15 rides to get there. So the larger the park in Roller Coaster Tycoon, the crazy more amount of rides you need, food, restrooms, information, cleanliness, etc. And when you play scenarios, you're never going to get to something this big, this crazy, without packing a corner full of rides and food for the peeps to get through. Spacing it out like this is unrealistic for the game engine of Roller Coaster Tycoon. So you live and learn, and you keep building, and you keep doing your best. And a lot of times you end up hiding food stalls in the middle of planter boxes, or you make underground pathways that are straighter and narrower to get people to places you want them to be, or you make transportation rides underneath that drop people off in ends of the parks that they're never going to walk to because the game doesn't allow the peeps to even think that way. So it's really tough to do, but if we're going to build this park and make it bigger and connect all the paths in the ways we see fit to make it look like Astroworld, we're going to have to make sacrifices on the aesthetics currently before moving forward. And you might have seen briefly during my briefly during my time building the paths over here, where peeps are just getting lost back and forth because there's multiple layers of path on top of each other. You can't get by that when it comes to doing when doing big parks. You're gonna have peeps walking on the wrong piece of pathway. I'm trying to even see how these guys are even getting over this, because the lower path's not letting them go that way, but they're still walking that way even though they are not supposed to be. Sometimes that's just an issue you're gonna have. So a quick solution to this would be I'm gonna delete this path that it's on top of, and I'm just gonna put a block there. So let's go ahead and put a path block. Oh, that's too light. What's the middle color that works the best? Maybe. Yeah, it's the middle one. And that'll hopefully keep people from walking the wrong way. But even this guy's having trouble. Antique Taxis is right here, and he's walking right here and going back and forth because he can't path find. He can't figure it out on some of these paths. So you deal with it. Peeps are going to get angry. Peeps are going to get stopped, and you're going to have to figure out a way to get peeps going through an area without them being super angry about it. So we'll figure it out in the future episodes, that's for sure. I'm not sure what else I'm going to do in this episode. This might be one of the shorter episodes we have, so that when we come back to another episode, we have a more succinct idea of what we're doing. So if you guys can like, comment, and subscribe, and also offer solutions to what you guys do when you get peeps that are all stuck in one area or doing something you don't want them to do. Love to see that in the video comments below. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video of Rebuilding Astroworld.